You're watching Eyewitness News live at 5. A Charlotte councilwoman held her head high while staring down fraud allegations.
What's the message to the community?
I love you.
Thanks for watching tonight. I'm Scott Wickersham.
And I'm Gina Esposito. Councilmember Tiawana Brown and her two daughters face a judge today. They're accused of filling out more than a dozen fraudulent COVID relief loan applications. Something
all three say they did not do. Our live team coverage of these cases continuing tonight. First, Channel 9's Hunter Sines, who was in court with her today. Hunter?
Well, Scott, as she left the courthouse today, Councilwoman Tiawana Brown told me she was pleased with how today went. Inside, she was very respectful with the federal judge as she pleaded not guilty to multiple fraud charges. And we also learned today the conditions and rules that she and her daughters will all have to follow until this is all resolved.
Charlotte City Councilwoman Tiawana Brown stood tall as she walked out of federal court.
Any thoughts on how that went today?
Not saying much after facing a judge and pleading not guilty to wire fraud and wire fraud conspiracy. The feds say she, in part, misused thousands of dollars in COVID relief funds, spending $15,000 on this extravagant and flashy 50th birthday party for herself. Her two daughters, also charged in the case, also pleaded not guilty.
What are your feelings facing a judge along with your daughters?
Excuse me, can I get through here, please?
Cameras are not allowed in federal court, but we were inside the courtroom as federal magistrate Judge Susan Rodriguez gave Brown and her daughters each a $25,000 unsecured bond. They will not be held in jail. They also had to surrender their passports, but Tiawana Brown can still travel throughout the U.S. for her American Airlines job, along with her nonprofit work.
Any thoughts on your passport being revoked? I know it was a concern due to your job.
The judge allowed me to do what I love to do, and that's work. Travel the world and help people.
Brown and her daughters all asked the judge for their cases to go to a jury trial.
Would you at all be open to taking a plea deal if it was offered?
She didn't answer, but her attorney, Rob Heroy, did.
No, it's not up for consideration.
Yeah, her defense attorney right there, Rob Heroy, also told me that it will be several more months before a trial gets underway. He also believes this will likely be one trial with all three defendants in that single trial. Now, I also asked Councilwoman Tiawana Brown if she feels support from her constituents. She turned to me and said, quote, "Absolutely. What do you think? I won every precinct." Now, I want to bring in Channel 9's Joe Bruno, who also questioned Councilwoman Brown right alongside me earlier today here at the federal courthouse. Joe, you've read page after page of this indictment with several details, but still, Councilwoman Brown seems very confident today.
Yeah, and she says she's not going anywhere. Still, feds say they have plenty of evidence against her and her daughters, and it goes beyond that big birthday bash. We were with Councilmember Brown today. Feds say between April 2020 and September 2021, Tiawana Brown and her two daughters conducted a wire fraud scheme to defraud the Small Business Administration's Economic Injury Disaster Loan Program and the Paycheck Protection Program. Feds say the trio used fake information and documentation, including fake tax forms that lied about the number of employees and gross income. All in all, feds say the trio submitted 15 applications and got at least $124,000 in funds. And here's an example from the indictment. Feds say in April 2021, Brown and her daughter applied for a PPP loan for her swimwear business, TC Collection. Feds say the two submitted a fake IRS Schedule C form that falsely claimed the company earned $96,000 in net profits in 2019, but feds say the form was fake and never submitted to the IRS. It also was the same exact form Brown's other daughter used for two of her businesses. Now, a requirement for the PPP loans was that the business had to be in place prior to February 15th, 2020. Her application claimed the business had already been in existence and profitable, but there are no registered businesses under this name with the Secretary of State. Live outside the Government Center, Joe Bruno, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
All right, Joe, thank you. And tonight, Brown remains a member of Charlotte City Council, says she's not going to resign. Coming up at 6, we'll explain whether or not that may be her choice.